Catherine and I had a great time riding the Scenic Idaho Famous Potatoes Loop. This was an incredibly beautiful ride, with gorgeous country roads, tough climbs, and really fun and fast descents. All of the tough climbs were rewarded with beautiful views and really fun downhills. The gravel was great, and so was the weather, well until the last day. The hiking trip started out with a slight overcast, bit of a headwind, but some nice easy pavement miles to get started. After about 17 miles, we camped by the river. It was a pretty good spot besides all the trains coming by. Next morning, we rolled into Lava Hot Springs to get breakfast at the Chuck Wagon. The Chuck Wagon had plenty of food and was open at 7 a.m. After this, the real challenge begins with a climb up Fish Creek Road that gradually increases in gradient and goes from pavement to dirt.
So pretty.
Majority of this climb was a decent gradient, but not too steep that was still able to ride it. This is one of the steeper sections here. With gorgeous views at the top and a chunky descent to start off. It slowly got better as you went down. Eventually opened up to beautiful fields and fall to nice creek. And the gravel was just about perfect by this point. We had a total of about 8 miles of downhill, so well worth the big climb before it. Our next stop is Bailey's Market in Niter to grab a couple more supplies. Had some burritos and got stocked up on water. The route then heads southeast toward Ant Canyon, which is the hardest part of this route. Ant Canyon climb is pretty steep, averaging 7.5%, with a couple sections that are well over 10%. I saw 15, even 18% climb. This climb took us just over 3.5 hours with stops. And Catherine took a well-deserved rest at the top as I enjoyed the view.
Wow, look at that, Catherine.
More gorgeous views as you headed down, a little bit of chunky roads at the top. We also saw a couple kids and their families getting ready to set up camp, and as we went by, one of the little boys yelled out, "Whoa, they're bike camping! I didn't even know you could do that!" Climbing wasn't quite done yet for the day, so we had 2 short climbs that were both relatively steep. Even more downhill, beautiful gravel and great views as we came to 8 Mile Creek Road. Found a nice camp spot off the road and settled in for the night. This was definitely the hardest day of the route, with 50 miles and over 6,000 feet of climbing. Next morning we got rolling early to try to avoid the storms that were supposed to come later in the day. When we got into Soda Springs, we were able to get cell service, and it looked like the storms would hold out for a while. Feeling pretty good after some big breakfast burritos from Maverick and a couple quick stops at the various soda springs in the town of Soda Springs. They're naturally carbonated springs that are a lot like a sparkling water, then you can just dip your bottle in and drink. Tasted alright, a little irony, but I feel like with some flavoring packets they'd be really good. We went up and over 10 Mile Pass trying to get back to Bancroft. We got caught in quite a bit of a storm. We tried to outrun it, but without any luck. This route was a ton of fun. About 100 miles 8,000 feet of climbing, beautiful views, great downhills, and tons of quiet country roads. Definitely quite the adventure, and I'm glad we had a chance to go do it. If you're interested in this route, see the description for a link to a full route guide on Ride with GPS.